United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in 1945. The day is celebrated widely by many other organizations concerned with hunger and food security. Different activities like events, seminars, workshops, hunger marches, and food marathons are held globally to educate people about the importance of nutritious food for overall health and well-being. World Food Day is an opportunity to achieve Sustainable Development Goal, to which is zero hunger, with the theme, Water is life, water is food, leave no one behind. Welcome to Alive this morning. My name is Tante Azal, and this is another week and this is another day for you to wake up and be positive. Okay, just the way I said, welcome to Alive this morning. We are going to be discussing this morning with someone in the studio who is an administrator and also a public analyst. His name is Olushola Falade. Olushola, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, today we are celebrating the World Food Day. Maybe you have something to tell, to Nigerians about how to live a good life and a better life.
Good morning, Uncle. Good morning, the viewers. This morning we celebrating World Food Day, and part of what we know, what we are fully aware of as individuals. Is eating right. Eating right, is a very vital area of that. So over time, we've seen cases of people not aware of what they should eat at different points in time. So some people just think, okay, so far as I get something to eat, I'm good to go. But eventually we find out that some of this food, causes harm to some individuals, and part of what should be taken home to everyone, to viewers, to the large populace, is you need to let people know that it is good to eat right. It is good to eat what is good for their body, what is good for their health, what is good for the system generally. So.
Of course, you have heard it. Whatever you're doing, make sure you eat right. And by eating right or by living well, we are talking about what you put in your body, be it, beverages, be it fruits, whatever you put in your system, be sure that you know exactly what you're putting. Just the way he said, it doesn't have to be because, okay, you just want to feed yourself, even though we understand that there's hardship. And even as we're celebrating World Food Day, people will be saying, why are we even celebrating, World Food Day as if we have something to eat? Because as we speak right now, there are people who do not have anything to eat. So whatever they get to, put in their system, glory be to God. So they don't even care about the nutritious part of it anymore. They just care about surviving. We pray that, help gets to those kind of people, because everyone deserves, to eat well. And I think that is why, in this type of day, some people get help from different organizations. They go to different local government, to different places to just give helping hand to people who are not eating well or living right. And when we talk about living well, please don't forget that a good exercise actually starts the day. So whatever you're doing, make sure as you eat well, also exercise, because it boosts you, it gives you a better system for the food to, activate properly in your system. Thank you for that is that on, the World Food Day. And we go straight to our paper review this morning, and we'll be starting with The Nation. And on the window story on The Nation today, we have economy takes center stage as Federal Executive Council meets, and that you will see on page 4. And it's time to fix Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway, says Akpabio, and that will be on page 6. On our bold headline this morning, Tinubu is saying why Supreme Court can't admit Atiku CSU evidence. We still have on page 4, President files reply to X VP's bid. BBC insists CSU certificate not forged, and that you will see on page, forged, just as I said. Then when you go to page 6, you will see U.S. to avert escalation of Israel-Hamas war. We Barakai neck and neck in Liberia poll, and that you will see on page 6. And when you go down to page 8, you will see 30 drowned, 169 missing in Congo boat accident. And that is all we have on the Nation's newspaper. And I'll go straight to the Guardian newspaper. And on the Guardian bold headline, we have firms scale down production, opt for trade over forex income concerns. And that you will see on page 6. When you go down, you will see on page 3, you will see anxiety as MTEF yet to arrive National Assembly 2 months after deadline. And on page 4, you will see telecoms operators may sue banks over 120 billion USSD debt. Okay. And we have on page 3, importers grown over 200% surge in duty amid Naira fluctuation. And that is all we have on the Guardian newspaper. But then, coming back to you, Olushola, on The Nation this morning, talking about the economy takes center stage. And, we are talking about World Food Day, and, people are complaining bitterly about how the economy of the nation is. But, one thing we know is that we are optimistic that this government is going to do something about it. And they are going into meetings now, for, the development of our economy. So what do you have a little, to talk about our economy?
Oh, thank you once again. The issue of economy is an issue for everyone, and it's very crucial at this time. So many people, many concerned individuals, are going through what I call economy issues, economic imbalance at this time. So we have people, we have a large number of our people who either are economically viable, economically stable, or by and large, as at the moment, they are being affected, by different policies, by different occurrences that is coming up day in, day out. So it's come down to affect individuals. I mean, it affects establishments, affects companies, affecting production, affecting productivity, and it's translating to issues, for individuals. So we now have an economy that is not robust at the moment, and when it is not robust, it also affects people. People cannot get what they want. People cannot live the kind of life they will want. It has now turned to issue of take what you see. So which is not good for us. We need to have a robust economy. The economic handlers needs to fashion out what is good for the large population. The country is so large, it's so big that any little issue, any little any wrong decision in that light, it's going to affect
everyone,
the large number of people. So we just have to now look at what is good for everyone, what will be good for us, so that we can live a good life.
Of course, so that we can live a good life. And going to Tribune now this morning, we are going to be talking about, on their window story, we have World Food Day, Nigeria groans over persistent increase in price of food. And that is, something we just talked about now, how people, I'm very sure, just the way I said, people would be complaining about lack of food, and we are talking about you know, the World Food Day. What are we going to be celebrating when we don't have what to eat? But let's be positive that things are going to be well, that things are going to be taken in, you know, just the way you said, into consideration in a way that it will favor everybody, not just, you know, some people. And let's still go to page 7 of Tribune, which says Forex restrictions removal on 43 items. Policy change will promote order linens, professional conduct, and RevStake delivery of new SUVs. Okay, and that you will see on page 28. And when you come down to the bold headline, you will see PDP, Labour Party disagrees with APC over INEC's assurance. And that you will see on page 22. And when you come to page 23, you will see Ubasani PDP candidate list 38 errors by tribunal. Okay, and on page 25, you'll be seeing annual editors, confab, economic experts to interrogate state of economy. Tinubu expected to declare conference open in Uyo, and that you will see on page 25 also. And then on page 28, you will see Ondo APC, PDP, trade wars over Akeredolu's absence, planned mayhem. All right, and on page 22, you will see Tinubu gives reasons why Supreme Court can't accept Atiku's fresh evidence. From that, we'll go to the next newspaper, and that will be Daily Trust. And on the Daily Trust window story, we have Ondo PDP, APC, Bika over Akeredolu's whereabouts. And we have Nigerian exports 148.1 billion naira worth of raw cashews in 6 months. Well, Gaza invasion could lead to genocide, Arab League, AU, and that you will see on page, well, let's go down to the bold headline. On the bold headline, you'll be seeing Boko Haram attacks escalate in Borno, and that you will see on page 4. And when you come down to, you know, I'm finding it difficult to see the pages. When you come down to page 11, you will see Liberia's election. ECOWAS warns against premature declarations of victory. And still on the daily newspaper, you will see Northern leaders raise over 2 billion naira for reconstruction of Zaria collapsed mosque. And you will still see, when you come to page 7, you will see Tinubu convenes Federal Executive Council meeting today, 49 days after inaugural meeting. Well, what captured my attention here on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning is, you know, the fact that Nigeria actually produces 146.1 billion naira worth of cashew. Like, even it's exported, not even the one that we still have. You know, it is something. Nigeria is really blessed. Sometimes when we sit down and say, you know, there are hardships here and there, and, you know, I still really wonder, then you still see some other people making themselves very productive by you know, using the little that they can use, you know, to really grow this economy. And if we're talking about growing this economy, it doesn't have to be that the government will look for something and let you know, okay, this is what in your closed environment, whatever, like there, I'm very sure whatever environment you're staying, there is something unique about that environment. That is my opinion, that someone can use or take advantage of, you know, to grow themselves. And, you know, us, or let me say Nigeria, exporting 146 points, you know, to or 1 billion naira worth of cashew is something to really be happy talking about today. That is a World Food Day, and, you know, Nigerians are concerned about the economy of the nation.
Thank you. On that topic, I am particularly worried that we should be talking about things like this at this time. A country that has gone this far. So we should be dependent. We should be alive in the area of food production, in the area of exportation. There's no state in this country that is not blessed. You travel from north to south to east to every corner of this country. Sometimes I wonder why states cannot identify something apart from what we are presently. It's like the oil has taken over every reason of the country. Everything centers around
the oil. They are forgetting agriculture.
So people who don't have petroleum, countries that doesn't have petroleum, they are doing well. They are doing fantastically well. So it's like every state, we are waiting for largesse from petroleum. So I think we need to look inward. Even when the last government, when they talk about Anchor program, aiming at encouraging farmers, to boost farm produce. We find out that most of this were not achieved. I expect us that by now we should have food in sufficient quantity. But instead of that, what we have is even a decline. So it now bring worries into the minds of every reasonable Nigerian. That even despite all these interventions, despite all this intention of government, intention of well-meaning organizations, what organizations to support food in the country, we are still where we are. When we don't have all these productions at the basics, it's going to affect us, generally. It's going to affect us globally. I don't know. We used to have cocoa in some part of the country. We used to have palm oil. We used to have a lot of things. If you go to everywhere, it's even getting more expensive, more difficult. We are supposed to leverage and get better things for our people through this. But instead, they are not even available. You want to see, before you used to see yam production in large number. You don't have that now. Palm oil, you don't have that now. Cocoa, you don't have much people going into it. Except people who have been doing it in time past. So we should have even states that are not even in cocoa, go into different things. But it's like we are too relaxed on the field that who are producing, and people who are producing are even the minority are producing for the large number of people. So most people are becoming big men, big boys. We don't see the reason why we should go into farming. But we are waiting to consume what the average farmer, the man that carry cutlass and hoe in different villages, what they are producing is what we are expecting. So we need to have a shift from that. So.
Actually, right now, I think farming is for the big boys, in fact. So if people are thinking they are big boys and girls, I think farming is the best, thing to enter into. Farming is no more like, before where everything is done manually, but I think people need to be more sensitized about how great or how beneficial agriculture is in this country, so that the young people can also have the urge to say they want to go into agriculture. From where I am coming from, most of the things we do there, especially, let me just say, it is the ginger. They farm ginger a lot in Kaduna State, and you will see the young boys, the young girls, they derive joy in going into farming of, ginger. So I think everybody has, or every state has what they are known for. If the young people would just put their minds into growing agriculture instead of waiting for white-collar jobs, we won't be complaining about the economy of our states, because we will be helping ourselves and, helping each other too. Even though farmers have been complaining lately, talking about, we tried, sometimes in my family we try to farm. So I get to know some of the hazards of, farming. And I think last year, so many farmers didn't, reap exactly what they sowed because there were plagues here and there. The farming, I don't know what happened to, some of the farm produce. Like something happened, a crop plague or something that spoiled almost everybody's farm. When you talk about potato now in Plateau State, I can remember last year there was a massive loss in, farming potato, Irish potato, because most of the people didn't get exactly what they wanted to do. And some of these things actually, make people to say they want to stay away from farming. But if you get to understand how farming is, it is a very, very beneficial something to go into. And we'll continue with our paper review. I'll be going straight to Vanguard this morning. And on Vanguard newspaper, we have on the window story, Tinubu to preside over Federal Executive Council meeting. And that you will see on on page 8. And on page 11, you see Ohanaeze to meet Tinubu over Nnamdi Kanu. All right, and on page 8 again, you see Israel-Hamas war, U.S. woos Saudi, Egypt, others to pressure Hamas to free hostages. And going to, still on page 8, you will still see experts to probe state of economy. All right, and the bold headline on the Vanguard this morning is 21 states owe 790 billion naira inherited pensions gratuities. Wow, and that you will see on page 5, actually, on the Vanguard newspaper. And on page 10, don't regulate social media. Sarah is telling, Akpabio and Abbas, and we'll come back to that. And we have removed Imo Rec to avoid Adamawa fiasco, PDP tells INEC. All right, and on page 19, you will see foreign investment in manufacturing up 88% to $861 million, and that you'll see on page 19. And that is all we have on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. I'll go straight to the Punch, and the Punch is the last newspaper we'll be taking this morning. And the window story says Tinubu swears in new ministers as Federal Executive Council meets today. And that you will see on page 8. And on page 20, Naira under pressure, Nigeria may seek dollar loan, IMF. And on page 2, you see fuel imports go up 843 billion naira. Stakeholders lament inactive refineries. And on the bold headline on the Punch this morning, we have federal government may spend 3.27 trillion naira on palliatives and loans. And that you will see on page 7 and 10. And also on page, so you'll see that on pages 7, 19, and 20. And going down, you'll see on page 8, editors invite Tinubu to discuss economic crisis at Uyo conference. And on page 4, we have pastor, 3 others caught with human score in Ogun State. And on page 19, we have on the Israel-Hamas war, Pope, China, UK demand end of civilian casualties. And that is all we have on the paper review this morning. And, we have so many interesting stories on some of these paper headlines on the paper. So you can go check out all the papers that we have reviewed this morning so that you'll be able to, go into some of the stories that we have read this morning. I will be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll go straight to the trending stories. Hello and welcome to Live News. The immediate past Minister of Youth and Sports Development Chief Sunday Dare, the federal government of Nigeria has taken punitive action against the secretariat. Nigerians have expressed fear over the possible shutdown of businesses and job losses.
See, things are just going higher every day.
For the fact that going from here to Ombalin day before was at 300, but now is at the high side of 700, 800.
The subsidy costs us trillions of naira yearly. Such as a vast sum of money will have been better spent on public transportation, health care, school, housing, and even national security.
And now on the trending stories, we have a former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, has applauded the appointment of Imam Ibrahim Kashim Imam as the chairman of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency. In a statement issued on Friday evening, presidential spokesperson Ajayi Ngilali says the appointee is expected to serve for a renewable term of 4 years in accordance with Section 2, subsection 3 of the FEMA Amendment Act 2007. Reacting in a post via his X handle on Saturday, Femi Kayode says the appointment of Kashim Imam as the chairman of FEMA has deeply inspired and encouraged him. He stated that the appointment gives hope to the younger generation and clearly shows that Nigeria rewards and utilizes the talent of those who are highly qualified and who have a good pedigree. The former minister therefore prayed that God should guide and lead him in the new appointment and urged all men and women of goodwill to pray for him because his success is Nigeria's success. And talking about, this appointment, actually, Ibrahim Imam is 24 years. And, this administration has proven, its worth already from what we've been saying on, some of the appointments that have been given to the young Nigerians. And, young Nigerians have been agitating for, for them to be heard. They wanted this government to be an inclusive government. They wanted, even before now, they have always wanted government to include the young people, in some of the decisions they take in Nigeria. And this government is showing us, practically like, we are trying to include everyone when it comes to, the young people, when it comes to women. We have seen some of the appointments that have been given to some of the women, So I just wanted to talk a little about, what you feel about this appointment and, to this very young guy who is really, he's a first-class graduate and, he's really being put on center stage because people are reacting to it that why would, be a 24-year-old person, I wanted to say child, a 24-year-old person, such a responsibility.
Thank you. My take on this, I, as an individual, I've been opposed to having young people included in, administration, whether government, whether corporate world. You cannot overemphasize the importance and the resilience of young people, of youth. I think it's good that youth are being given that attention. But my concern on this Federal Road Maintenance Agency appointment, we need to embrace accountability and go strongly because this is an aspect where we have issues in the country. the roads. There are a lot of, several issues everywhere. If you travel breadth and breadth of the country, you see dilapidated roads, abandoned projects in this area. So my, concern is, looking at the guys, this Kashim, looking at this Kashim, if you look at him, looking at how big our country is, political interference, a lot of interest. My concern is, if his ability to be able to deal with
the pressure,
so many issues that are affecting this area. Because we have people who have the clouds, who have that experience over time, who have been giving us empty promises. Lot of seasoned engineers, seasoned politicians, technocrats, telling us they're going to deliver good roads for us, and all we see is we still have bad roads dotted everywhere. So including young people in administration is good, but sometimes I was still discussing yesterday with a colleague. You look at the level of responsibility. Would that person be able to to muster enough courage to deal with issues? So at his level, we expect him to be able to face issues head on, abandoned projects, look at people, just like the Minister for Works was talking recently. He has been talking to contractors. Why that not business as usual. So we expect Kashim Imam to plug into that, so that they can have one voice, so that they can come together and know why we are here. That is not the rhetorics of the past. So we need to match our words with action. We need to see roads that have been delivered, not on paper, not with mouth, but in the real sense of it. So that is what concerns me, and I expect him to deliver in that area.
Actually, and talking about the high rate of accidents on our roads now, this is actually the time for this agency to do something, because we really need our roads to be maintained well, so that it can reduce the rate of accidents. And most times when you talk to people or drivers on the road, they say, all these potholes are the ones causing most of the accidents. It's not even them being reckless, it is mostly, the potholes. Not removing the fact that we have some, reckless drivers that when they're driving, they feel like the world is in their hands, like maybe their lives, are not in God's hands. It's more like their lives are being kept at home, so that after everything, they go back, take their lives back. So we really need to, work on our roads also. And going back to, our trending stories, we have the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. Rabiu Kwankwaso has cautioned newly wedded wives against checking their husbands' phones. Kwankwaso said these would avoid anything that could lead to a marriage breakup. The former presidential aspirant spoke at the reception organized for the mass marriage of 1,800 couples by the Kano State government at the Open Theatre in Kano Government House on Saturday. Kwankwaso, who had earlier hailed the mass wedding as a move towards social cohesion and morality check, says you have been advised by all and sundry. I believe you have been advised 1,000 times, but I have one single piece of advice for you. That is checking your spouse's phones. Don't peep your spouse's phones, as that is the major cause of marriage breakup these days. Kwankwaso lauded the political commitment demonstrated by Governor Abba Yusuf for making the exercise a reality. Well, I was thinking, for us, let me say, who are not married might not really understand what this is. But my question is, before we got married, I was thinking there should be, a certain trust between a man and a wife, and the belief that, as you come as one, there shouldn't be anything, to hide from each other. But I am just talking as a single person, and I'm very, very sure that maybe you have a better perspective of, this very topic.
Thank you. So it's a big topic, and what the elder statesman, Kwankwaso has said, is good. It's aimed towards making people peaceful, in their marriage. Because if you look at it, a lot of marriages, had issues, through things like this, and everything built on suspicion. So, like I used to, somebody used to, say something. Don't look at what will make, your mind to get disturbed. You get it. So we are in a country where we have peer influence, where we have comparison here and there. So somebody could be calling you for something else. So particularly if it's a wife that doesn't really, have the temperament and patience, you could mistake your husband's call for suspicion. We've seen people talking to somebody for business, and the wife took it for somebody else. So, why is this person calling you? Or we have a lot of messages, even though we are in a society where you cannot actually prevent people from socializing. Somebody might even be having interest in you, and you are not interested. It's just friends, and the person is not willing. So by the time you're checking the phone,
but the response,
you're going to give yourself a problem.
But the response to whatever message the person sends should be what is the key point there. I agree with you, and this is actually a national advice. Kwankwaso telling the whole people to, and this is not just in Kano State. This is to everyone. He's saying stop it, because it has actually happened so many times. We've had cases that it has become a concern now of many marriages collapsing because of spouses checking their phones. And you talked about how sometimes it is just a business meeting and the person will take it the other way round. But I just really can't understand what the conversation would be that a wife or the husband will get angry. There has to be that there's something or a little bit of fire, for that smoke to come out there.
No, I'm going to help you there. So you see, for singles, there are a lot of, carefree, you take things the way you see them. But the moment marriage sets in, the first problem, particularly women have, is this sense of insecurity. You want to have the person 100%. Before you got married to the person, he has friends, he used to hang out, even you used to go out to hang out with him. Suddenly, by the time you enter the house, the moment the man comes late, maybe it's traffic or something, the mindset is, he must be somewhere. So you're not looking at something to hold on to. Maybe you just saw a message that say, hope you didn't get home late yesterday. From a lady. As a married woman, who is this person? Hope you didn't get home late yesterday. That means they must have been somewhere. So the advice is, don't let something don't even go there to get yourself, worked up. Because I for one,